Amazon Prime Day is finally upon us, and after a year of high MSRPs and stuff being out of stock, I think we need a few good deals. I'm really going to look at stuff that I've used personally in the past, stuff that I can vouch for. That way I can recommend the best products for you guys to buy. Hey guys, so today's video is sponsored by CDKDeals, genuine CD keys, not only for software like Windows 10, and we also have a coupon code where you're going to be able to get this for under $20. What you first want to do is go and sign up for an account just to make sure all of your information is in there. You can go and search for, it's going to be the Windows 10 Pro. It's OEM, very easy process. You add it to your cart and you're going to see that you're going to have the option to put a coupon code. You're going to put in CC20. That's my coupon code, and you're going to get 20% off. And then you just go through the regular checkout process. Basically, you just have to go in Windows. I'm going to show you how to do this now. You enter the CD key in there, and you'll see it's going to work without any issue. And for the price that you're paying, I really think it's a fantastic deal to get a real, genuine, smooth working copies of Windows 10. They say every time you subscribe and you smash that like button, we get a little bit closer to having an actual GPU at a cheaper price in something like Prime Day. I don't think it's going to happen for a long time. All right, so it's been a weird year. Nobody's been able to really build PCs the way that they want to. GPUs are really going to be the primary problem. But aside from that, Amazon Prime Day is here, and there's going to be a lot of stuff that's actually a little bit cheaper than throughout the year. And I know some people think you can't necessarily find some good deals, but on certain items you definitely can. And I've paid attention the last few years on Amazon Prime Day. Some items are going to be pretty much at their cheapest now, especially hard drives like NVMe drives and SSDs. Sometimes they drop the prices really low, and those prices go up for the rest of the year, and you really don't see it again until maybe Black Friday or something like that. So there are definitely some deals to be had. But the items I'm going to talk about here, it's not just going to be any random stuff. It's going to be stuff that I've actually bought myself before, stuff I have experience with. There's definitely a lot of good stuff if you know where to look. Some of it can actually sell out pretty fast, so I'll try to keep certain things updated down below. So let's talk about a few of those items. The first thing I want you guys to look for, especially if you're looking for a GPU, let's get this out of the way now. You're probably not going to find a single GPU, but you are going to be able to find some pre-built systems that have a GPU with the whole system that may actually be a reasonable price compared to what you would have to pay on the secondhand market. An example of this is the Cyberpower PC. This one was actually pretty cheap. It was under $1,200, and it comes with an 3800X Ryzen processor. Very good processor still. It also comes with the RTX 3060. Now, the 3060 has 12 gigabytes of VRAM. It's not quite as fast as the 3060 Ti, but for gaming and things of that nature, that's actually not really a bad deal at all, considering that if you try to buy an RTX 3060 on the secondhand market, you're probably going to pay anywhere from like $750 to $900 new for it. So to think that for a few $100 you're getting a whole pre-built system, that's going to be one of the better deals. But just keep in mind that this does sell out fast, and sometimes they'll replace it with something else. So just search for these type of, pre-built PCs. You can definitely find some of these for a fairly decent deal. Now, if you don't find the pre-built and you happen to want a laptop, some of these laptops are also priced, I think, fairly well. There's the Alienware M15 laptop. This is going to come with an RTX 3070, and while the laptop version, the Max-Q version, generally isn't going to be as fast as the desktop version, if you are really needing a new gaming PC, something like a laptop can certainly hold you over. They're much more powerful nowadays than they've been in the past. So a laptop with an RTX 3070 under $2,000, the Alienware laptop, certainly could be something very, very nice. If you consider the fact that on the secondhand market, 3070s are going for $1,400, really for, $500 or $600 more, you're getting pretty much the entire system. Now, of course, you're not going to have the same resale value as if it was like an individual GPU. Probably after all of these GPU prices return to normal, you'll have the usual laptop depreciation, but that's certainly something to keep an eye on if you need a total system and you've been having trouble sort of putting it together with the GPU shortages recently. And now for individual components, something that really caught my eye was the Acer Predator 4K gaming monitor. I actually have it right behind me here, and I paid considerably more. Now it's under $600, and that's a really great deal for those that want to get into 4K gaming. It has HDR, higher refresh rate. It's really a fantastic gaming monitor. I remember when these 4K gaming monitors first came out with the 144 Hz refresh rate, like the 1000 nit one from Acer and from Asus, they were pretty much $2,000. and I had the original one, and compared to this one that is now basically a quarter of the price of the one that came out a few years ago, pretty much I really can't tell the difference. The only difference really is it has a little bit less HDR, sort of. It's not as bright as those monitors, but in general you really don't notice the difference that much, just because HDR hasn't been implemented, like optimized in every single game, and not everything takes advantage of it. So for the most part, for a quarter of the price, this is an absolutely fantastic monitor. Just keep in mind it does have a fan that goes off sort of when the monitor heats up a little bit, so it can get a little bit loud if you're sort of in a really quiet room. Sometimes if I have a really quiet water-cooled PC, I can certainly hear it, but aside from that, not really too many drawbacks. It's an IPS panel, meaning the viewing angles are really good, the colors are amazing on it, and so the response time is really good. It's certainly a very good monitor, and for the price that it's here now, definitely a few $100s cheaper than I've seen it recently. And then let's talk about some other components. I just happened to see the DeepCool 240mm AIO, the EX Castle version. This is the RGB version. Actually, recently I've just been testing it out, and I saw that it went on sale for $99. Now this is a really nice AIO cooler. Just recently it was $140, so it's down all the way to $99. DeepCool did originally send me this cooler for me to test out. It's definitely fantastic. I love the RGB implementation of it. I even turned the lights off and did a little video with it. It looks really cool. It's sort of a unique design. You have sort of that X on the fans, and even the CPU cooler itself looks nice. I thought the performance was great, and it also keeps everything nice and tidy. It has the little controllers that you can sort of plug everything into, which is definitely very, very useful. So at least you have some type of system to control everything. So this at $99 for a 240mm AIO, definitely very competitive with everything else. And I personally like the 240mm size because there are some cases, especially smaller mini ITX cases like the NCase M1, that you can't really fit anything bigger. Even a 280 sometimes won't fit into these smaller cases. So as you go through builds, 240 is definitely something that fits in multiple cases down the line. And of course, a 360 does perform a little better, and they do have those models available as well. But the problem is, if you encounter a case that's not going to fit it, you're going to have to buy a brand new AIO. Then a couple of other peripherals that caught my attention that were really priced nicely. The Razer Viper Mini. Now this is going to be the smaller version. It was $19.99. That's a pretty crazy price. At least for me, I really like the way it feels in the hand. I have everything from the regular size Razer Viper to the Mini to also, the larger one that's wireless. Now the Mini is actually really comfortable to use if you like a smaller mouse, and for $19.99, really a fantastic deal. It feels really great. The only thing I don't like as much is sometimes the Razer software can be a little intrusive. Like when you plug the mouse in, it pops up. I'd rather download the drivers myself without having to worry about that. But in general, it's an absolutely fantastic mouse. And for those of you that want something a little bit bigger, the Logitech Hero G502. This mouse has been around for a very long time, and for a pretty good reason. People absolutely love the shape. They really love the way that it feels, it handles. It's going to be a little bit heavier mouse, and if you're the type of person that likes that, this one under 40 bucks, I think it's like $37.99, certainly an absolutely fantastic deal. And something that also caught my attention, the Samsung 980 Pro. This is going to be generally pretty expensive, especially for the 2TB model. Originally it was $429, but now it's down all the way to $329 for the Samsung Pro, the 2TB version. Now, the reason you would get something like the Pro version instead of one of the cheaper NVMe drives that are 2TB, you'll see if you do a large file transfer, these are going to maintain a much faster speed after the cache is sort of exhausted. Some of the cheaper drives do have fast numbers, but after you transfer something that's maybe like a 500 gigabytes or something like that, or 400 depending on the limit, you're going to go back down to pretty much speeds that are similar to a regular SSD, like 500 or 600 megabytes per second. While something like a Samsung Pro, these generally are going to be much better drives, and they're going to sustain those speeds over long times if you're the type of person that are going to be transferring files. Anyway, that's why this one caught my attention, because I have a few of them, and I've also been looking at the 970 EVO, which right now is basically more or less the same price as a Samsung Pro, so it's certainly a very good deal. And in terms of processors, there weren't as many great deals this year that I've seen, but you can get a Ryzen 3700X that seemed to be priced, nicely under $300. Now, I didn't see too many of the 5600X or anything like that, but the 3700X is a fine CPU, and sometimes you can find some of the Intel CPUs for a fairly decent price as well. But for the most part, these are the things that I found here. I'm going to list other things down below as I find them throughout the day. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you bought today, and good luck out there hunting for these deals. Let me know if you find some really awesome stuff and post it down below. Alright guys, so I'll see you guys on the next video.